Hey guys, it's Justin Goodbread with Financially Simple. So we're doing a Thursday Ask Justin questions. And I started on a series, a little small mini series from a client of ours whose child actually asked mom and dad. They said, Daddy, Mama, what's going on with this Shark Tank thing on TV? And why do these people call businesses one thing's good and one thing's bad? So our team here at Financially Simple said, Justin, we need to go out and create an Ask Justin page. You know, over the years, I've dealt with client question of the week. Anytime I hear something in a client meeting that I think is really cool, then I'll bring the question to you. So I'm going to go ahead and say if you have a question, we're going to start making a list of questions and answer them on this Thursday edition of the Financially Simple show here with Justin Goodbread. And so I want to answer the question on part 2 of Ask Justin, and we're dealing with Shark Tank. So last time we talked about valuation and how the sharks on the hit show Shark Tank consider a company valuable or not. And so today I want to deal with a thing that we'll often hear the sharks ask. So let me lay the stage for those of you who didn't hear last episode. And if you didn't hear last episode, hey, check it out in the Facebook feed, or we also are uploading these to YouTube. So guys, you can connect with us everywhere here on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. The blog is really rocking right now. The team is putting some really cool content on there with my help. The podcast, check it out on Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes. It's going crazy. We're getting lots of downloads. We're dealing with these type of questions for us business owners from a financial perspective. So let's deal with the Shark Tank of the day. Whenever someone walks into the room of Shark Tank, they're going to pitch the sharks something about their business. And the sharks are going to ask about their value. We talked about that a little bit last time. Occasionally, though, the sharks will ask the question, or the individual will say, we have a patent pending. A patent pending, or do we have a patent? So a lot of times the people pitching will say, well, there's a patent. And then you'll hear the shark say, okay, time out. Is that a patent or is it a patent pending? Now, I want to talk about why that's important and why the sharks, when they hear that, they instantly start asking very detailed questions, okay? It boils down to a thing called competitive advantage. That's what they're looking for. What a competitive advantage is that you and your business, in your business currently, you have the ability to do something that other businesses can't do or aren't doing, one of the two. So what a patent does, if it's not a patent pending, but if it's a true patent, then you have for a period of time, depending on the type of patent, and guys, I've got a patent attorney friend of mine, he's an expert on this, that I'm not a lawyer, you know that. I'm a CFP, CIPA, and Certified Value Growth Advisor. I know that with a patent pending, though, from a financial position and from a business position, we have some time to where our what's called intellectual capital, things that we created from our mind, the system that we put together is protected from other people being able to copy it or to monetize it. And so that creates a competitive advantage. The easiest way for me to kind of explain it to you, I was watching a movie one time called The Flash of Genius, and it was about the individual who created the wiper blades, the intermittent wiper blades. And in this cool movie, it's a really cool movie for us business people, understand the legal system and how it works. It's an older movie. It's not a hit movie. I'm kind of boring, you know. Anyways, in this movie, Flash of Genius, the individuals he's on the stand, the guy who created the intermittent wiping blade, one of the companies stole his idea. And he runs home. It sends the little boy home as he was doing a pro se litigant, which means he was defending himself in court. He has his little boy run home and grab a book, Moby Dick. And he illustrates the importance of a patent, or the idea behind being able to intellectually create something that anybody else can and then protect it. So he uses this book called Moby Dick, and he starts reading just the first words of Moby Dick. And the words like I and we and well, and words we use every day. We read books every day that common day folk like ourselves put words and sentences together in a way that only you can say or only I can say. And that's what's called intellectual capital. So in the story, in the movie, it goes and it shows that Moby Dick is an unbelievable novel, but it just uses common words, and it's the way that you orchestrate the words to create the masterpiece. In your business, you may have the ability to take everyday things, take in what's called repurposing, like my phone here. This is a Samsung phone. There's a lot of different components in here, and Samsung is using components from all different manufacturers to create this phone. You may create a computer program that uses an Excel format, something that's new, and create a patent from it. You may create, like we have here in Knoxville, the sun sphere, just the way that glass is bent just right, and that creates a patent. Everybody else can do it, but no one's thought about it right now. So what the sharks are looking for when they ask, do you have a patent, is this. They're wanting to know if you in your business have locked out or put yourself in a position to give yourself a competitive advantage. Because when you have a competitive advantage in your business, then your business theoretically, not always, but many times can get ahead of the competition in a very short time frame. So whenever those individuals walk into the Shark Tank and they're pitching their business and they say, hey, we've got a patent, the instant you'll watch the sharks, they kind of sit up on the edge of the chair and they start asking questions. Now, is this a true patent? Oh, yeah, it's a true patent. We have it right here. Then you start seeing that price tag go way up. Or they'll say it's patent pending, and the sharks kind of slump back. Because just because it's a patent pending doesn't mean it's going to come to fruition. The patent office, you may be infringing on somebody else's patent. So that's what the sharks are doing. They're going, is this a patent or patent pending? So let's equate that to everyday business. And so the lesson we can learn from this is we may not need to have a patent. Okay, we may not need to have a patent in our business. One of my buddies just jumped on, Mr. Dale here. Mr. Dale is an insurance agent for Allstate. He has a competitive advantage in the fact that he represents a large, very large insurance firm that's a nationally recognized, as opposed to somebody who may not work with a nationally recognized firm. That's a competitive advantage that my friend Dale, who just hopped on here, has. In our business, in Heritage Investors and in Financially Simple, the competitive advantage for me personally is I'm 39 years old with decades of business experience. If you can think about it in business, I have lived it. That's unusual for someone to be age 39, have 25 plus years of business, have multiple master levels degrees, and also able to consult with multiple different types of business owners. That's a competitive advantage. Another competitive advantage that I have right now is we are this close, folks, close from launching our first book. I'm so excited. I've been working on this with a team for about a year. It's called 10 and Out. I'm hopefully going to be able to launch that on. Tell you about that here a little bit later on whoever's going to publish it. We're in that process now. So that's a competitive advantage that I will have. And once it goes published, I'll be a published author. So what the sharks are looking for is a business with a competitive advantage. So the root thing that we have to think about as business owners is this. What is your competitive advantage? You look at and you say, I'm an employee of a company, because we have a lot of employees that jump in. They're trying to figure out how to help their business grow, or they're trying to figure out how to help themselves financially. If you're an employee of a company, see if you can identify the competitive advantage. If you're out trying to job hunt right now, man, you really want to look for a business that has a competitive advantage. Why? Because it's going to give them greater growth ability. Guys, also, it's going to bring a better price tag. We see this on Shark Tank. So the question I want to answer this week is Shark Tank Part 2, lesson Part 2 from Shark Tank is, why do the sharks ask about a patent? The reason for it, the number one reason, is the competitive advantage that it yields to our businesses. So guys, that's it for this week. Hey, one more thought before I jump off of here. Check out the podcast, financiallysimple.com. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. I mean, if you just Google it, you can find it. I actually did a whole episode on competitive advantage. It's about 30 minutes on how us business owners can drive up the competitive advantage of our business. We also have a blog post on financiallysimple.com that I want you to take a look at. I'll get the team to drop a line here in the comments, so you can just jump right over and check that particular blog post off, talking about competitive advantage. While you're on the blog, sign up for the weekly newsletter. We got a couple thousands of folk now who are getting the newsletter. I mean, it's amazing to see how many people want to actually read this stuff, but check it out. One last thing, tomorrow we are going to be live at about 4:30 in the afternoon answering your questions. So go ahead and shoot us a message on Facebook. drop an email at justin@financiallysimple.com if you can't make it live, and I'll be sure to answer your question on the air. If you can tune in live, hey, jump on there with us tomorrow. We're going to go. Last week, I think it was like 30 minutes. We rocked through about 6, 7, 8 questions real time. So we're trying to do the Stump Justin. See if you can come up with a question that can stump me. And if you can, there's a prize that we're going to enter into a contest to have a prize once a month. We're going to do a little drawing there. So, guys, that's it for this week's Shark Tank edition. If you have any questions, let me know. If you like this, share the video. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Like I say every week, life is hard. It is. It is. I'm dealing with some hard things with some people right now going through a hard time. Hard time. Life is good. I'm dealing with some folks who are having unbelievable success in their business. I'm fixing to meet with a rock star dentist now. Man, he's knocking it out of the park. I've been working with his team for a while now. I can't wait to talk to him about the success he's having. So life is hard. Life is good, but money doesn't have to be complicated. Let's continue to make our lives at least financially simple. Y'all go out and make it a great day.